Hey everybody, it's Tyler with Gaia Force Gaming, or in this case, I should say Gear 5 Gaming, because today I'm bringing you a one-piece card game deck profile. I got to play in one of the deck limited battles, the one hosted by PPG. This was the only one that I got into. I applied for two. I wasn't sure if I'd have decks or not, just because unfortunately during the Super pre-release is when my city got hit by Hurricane Ian. It was the same weekend, so I had to get all of mine kind of secondhand at a later date. But I did get some, and I did play today. I did end up going 7-2, losing in round 3 and in round 9, coming out in 14th place. The person I lost to in the final round ended up in 5th place, so I'd like to think that I'd end up somewhere around there if I had won it. And the person I lost to in round 3 did come second for the event and win himself a serialized Luffy. So overall, I think I did pretty good. I haven't had a lot of time to put into practicing, other than theory crafting and like meta discussion. I built the deck. I built a little bit of every deck. I did end up getting all of the pre-release decks, and I was able to practice for about 3 or 4 hours in one night, just with some buddies over in the Never Spark Discord server. So that was a lot of fun and it helped a lot. Big shout outs to Ed TCG and Russell LePere for helping me practice. Just about, I don't know, 5 or 6 sets of games with various matchups and just talking theory and deck breakdown. But without further ado, I did end up playing Crocodile. I wanted to play Kid, but because I like the way green plays a lot, but into deck limited battles, green just feels like it cannot really compete with blue. And I thought blue was going to be very popular, and it was. So I decided that I would play the mirror, and my bad matchup was purple, and I thought that it wasn't as bad a matchup as green into blue was. So I went with blue. I do like Crocodile. I think the playstyle is very rewarding, though it can be a bit taxing over 9 rounds, just because when you get into the grindier mirror matches, there was a lot to keep track of and a lot to think about. But this is the list I ran. It's deck of limited battles. Give it a try. I liked it a lot. So without further ado, I played 4 laws, just your 1-drop blocker. You gotta have it. It's recyclable with Gecko, which is super strong. I played 4 Jinbeis, just to have some more of a low end. He is a counter, which is always good, and he's only 1 Dawn away from threatening some damage on your opponent's life. So overall, not bad. Then we get more into the mid game. I did go with 3 Weevils. I had it at 4 for a minute, but I did drop it to 3. It is kind of a more flexible spot, but the 5k is super strong just to be able to threaten, life damage against your opponent. Then of course you have to play the 4 Sentimaru. I think that's like a non-negotiable. You want to see this card as early as possible to push your advantage to get your pacifistas in play for free. I think it's also correct to play 4 of the Boa just for the life trigger. It plays her. She's a blocker. She's 7 Warlord, so you could get her with Gecko. Overall good. For 4 drops, I have 4 Teach. It's really strong in a lot of matchups, being able to just tempo up your opponent by bouncing something without really costing anything other than dropping a body is really strong. Blue likes to do a lot of bouncing, but usually it's at the cost of Dawn or using it with an event card rather than spending your turn on advancing your board. But this does both, which makes it pretty good. It does bounce a 3-drop or less, so it just kind of negates their early game to a certain extent. The King of the Grind, Gecko Moria, helps you in late game recycle back your laws, is what you're mostly getting back. Sometimes you get back Mihawk for the super counter. Sometimes you get back Boa if you don't have another blocker and you need a blocker. But Gecko is pretty strong. For Mihawk, he's the super counter. You never play him out naturally, you just use him to plus 2k. But he is recyclable with Gecko, which makes him very, very strong. I played 4 Pacifista. You want to be able to search it with Sentimaru. Just quick little tip when you're searching for the first one, count how many you have, do a quick scan of some of your other triggers just so you have an idea of what's in life. Don't take a bunch of time, but do try to, make yourself aware, especially in a best of one format like we were in. I opted to play 2 of the promo Crocodile just because I wanted the plus 1k counter. I wanted to minimize the amount of cards that don't have counter in my hand. I never had to, I think I played him once the entire tournament. I usually just used him as a counter. He didn't really come up, so this is somewhat of a flex spot. You play what you're suited to, but I think 5k to threaten swings without anything. You could turn him into a blocker for the cost of 1 Dawn. It's not bad. For Doflamingo, I think it's necessary. Some people run it at 3. I run it at 4 because I want to see this card, because if you're already in control of the board, this keeps you there. And if you're playing in the blue mirror, you start doing that back and forth handshake with each other, and you need to kind of keep that shake going, to be honest. And that's everything I run for characters. For events, I do run 4 Level of Mellow. It's not a stupendous card, but it is just a cheap way to get to 4k counter, and you do draw a card if you're low on hand, which, it saves you. Kind of got to run it right now. I also run 4 Sables, but I think I could see myself cutting this to 3. There was a lot of games where this was in my hand, and I just didn't find the time to play it, and it was just sitting there not being a counter. My loss in round 3 to Chris Sock was because my hand was like double or triple Dofi and double Sables, and I just didn't have the counter power to survive in the late game. Which is originally why I went with these over the 5-drop Crocodile, just so I had more counters. And then I did decide to run 1 Thrust Pad Cannon. You could do some cool plays, blocking and returning the blocker to your hand, or just bouncing one of their cards when they swing. Like, it's good in the mirror if they set up Sentomaru and then make the misplay of like swinging with their guy before activating Sentomaru, or they drop him early and then take a pot shot. It lets you capitalize on their misplays, but also can just be cracked in security sometimes. Security in life. Welcome to my Digimon channel, everybody. I'm playing One Piece too. But overall, had a really good time. Round 1 I played green. It was a really easy matchup. I think blue has a very big advantage over green. Round 2 I played a blue mirror. I ended up winning that one. Round 3 I played a blue mirror. I ended up losing. Very, very close game. Very good game. Like I said, with Chris Sock for coming second. Congratulations, Chris. Round 4 I played blue again. And it was I ended up winning that one. I think that round I just got Sentomaru very early and let it carry me. Round 5 I played purple. They had to play a Sasaki on their 3 Dawn turn, dropping them to 2 Dawn, and I just never let them gain back any sort of momentum. I just pushed that advantage really hard. Then round 6 I played red. That was a pretty close game overall, but again, I just with this deck I tend to focus on board control, and then I almost never boost to swing at life early. I just take pot shots to kind of whittle away their hand and then try to push that advantage further. So that was round 5 or 6. That was my 1 red matchup, and then I had 2 more purple matchups and 2 more blue matchups. I lost one of the purple ones in the final round to Thomas Henry from DA, and it was close. I'm sorry, I said DA, from Royal Knights, formerly DA, and it was close. I don't know if they use the same team name for One Piece as well, but anyway, it was a really fun time. Best of 1 is really healthy for this game, I think. I think best of 3 would be way too grindy, way too long, very taxing. One Piece is kind of a more grindy game. It's a little bit slower. But I had a lot of fun. If you guys want to see some One Piece content, let me know. I did want to make this deck profile. I know the card pool is very limited, but this is what I ran. This is what I can, I could say it works. I think blue is a strong color. for deck limited battles. I think in set 1 maybe it gets the least amount of boost. I think red and green get a lot from set 1 comparatively, and then kind of flip-flops what the top dogs are for the 4 colors. One Piece is really cool mechanically. It's a really thinky game. It's very rewarding. I shouldn't say I don't. I had no idea anything about the series because I never followed it. Up until I found out the card game was coming out, I did look into it because I wanted to be more well versed on the lore, the knowledge, be a little nerd about it. So, like I said, if you guys want to see gameplay videos or more content or anything like that, let me know. It was really fun to play. Just big shout outs to PPG for running a smooth event. Big shout outs to Chris for always being a cool opponent, whether it's in Digimon or One Piece. Big shout outs to all of my opponents. It was a really fun, smooth day. I had a great time, and 9 rounds felt pretty nice as best of 1. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for your support, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.